Hey guys, thank you for joining us again for another exciting episode of Yoml. This is the Year of Magical Learning podcast. So today we're on Reflection 265, and there's another brand new book. I think Chris is having a discovery exploration kind of kick in this kind of time frame. Today we're talking about a book. I say it's called Tribes. We Need You to Lead Us by Seth Godin.
Yeah.
So
So Seth Godin, we've already done. Um, is this his third
Purple
book?
Cow, and we did Purple Cow with him or no?
Linchpin. We did. No, we didn't do
Linchpin.
purple. I didn't do Purple Cow. I've never read Purple Cow. Is that good?
Yeah, it's a concept.
Yeah.
It's a concept of standing. I like the talking about the black swan, but
Oh,
purple cow. I mean, you have to stand out. You have to be unique. It's like a marketing book.
gotcha. Oh, well, that makes sense. Oh, I mean, uh,
Purple cow. It's like when you say purple cow, I say, well, okay, I'm curious. Tell me more. So people tell you,
makes sense actually. No, I think we've Linchpin. We're gonna do that in a little bit, and we did um the Dip. So
hmm
I think this is the third book of his that we have in this series. Um but yeah, so this book is it's called Tribes, why you need why we need you sorry, Tribes, we need you to lead us by Seth Godin. This book's about um well, tribes. Like in how humans need tribes and they want to be loyal to tribes and this is about the unique opportunity around that the internet and the modern day economy has given to kind of have a tribe with anybody anywhere. It's almost like the long tail of tribes, you know. I mean, you can find a tribe anywhere. Like, I mean, back in 50s, 60s or whatever, if you had a tribe, it usually had to be, you know, in a geographic area or
hmm
you had to move to a big city or you had to be like a weirdo that was like some hippie that found like five people that lived out in a commune together or something like that. It was to find people that believed exactly what you believed in. If it was like unique stuff and you wanted
hmm
to go explore that world, like look at us. Like, I mean,
This
we're
is a tribe.
yeah, it's a tribe, but and you live in Houston, I live in Indianapolis, and we've never actually physically met each other in person, which is crazy. So the you can you can do this stuff anywhere now, right? So it's this book is about like um uh how to do that and like what people why leaders are needed this day and age, and how to take a three-step process that he has of building a tribe, which is the desire to change things, the ability to connect a tribe, and the willingness to lead. That's his book. That's what it's about.
Mm. Okay.
So it was an interesting book. I don't think I've ever read a Seth Godin book that I haven't liked at this point in time. He's one of those authors that I feel like he's getting into that level of, you know, Bill Bryson or Adam Grant or Nassim Taleb, where I'm like, I kind of know what to expect, or Malcolm Gladwell, where it's like
hmm
I feel pretty confident if I pick up any Seth Godin book that I'm gonna I'm gonna enjoy the process and enjoy what I learn and you know uh find a few new good things that I can apply toward my journey, our journey, the Cloveny journey, whatever it may be. So the reflection title for this one is we only ever listen to ourselves. And what I mean by that is, um, I, you and I've talked about this many times before in the past, but like I'm fairly confident that I've never made a major decision in my life ever off the guidance or advice directly off of the guidance or advice of somebody else. Have you?
Can you do it? I mean, because no, you can't because it's logically impossible.
Yeah, I agree. So and we've even talked about this as ourselves telling ourselves like I don't even know that right now I would go if I went back and told 20-year-old Chris this is what you should do that I would even listen to myself. Like I mean you can tell whatever you want to tell to anybody. You can share advice. Don't get me wrong, like I've used other people's experiences and opinions and sought out research and people like Seth Godin and other mentors and things like that to inform myself. But the only person that's ever made a decision in my life, a major decision that is I'm pretty
Well,
fairly
I
confident
mean,
to say
it's
it's
our
me.
decision. It doesn't
Right.
matter how big or small the decision is, because if I tell you to do something and
Right.
you do it, it's my decision, not yours.
I agree. I think some
So
people think
if I tell you to do something and you say, yeah, okay, I got it. Okay, I agree. Then you're making the decision. If I were to tell you and you just do it, then it's not your decision. It's my decision. So you cannot
I
you can
I tend to
you
agree.
cannot make a decision without listening to yourself.
There's an inflection point of a level of severity though, where there are minor decisions in my life where I've just accepted whatever. Like if my parents like we're going to church and I'm like I don't want to go to church and they're like, well I don't care, you're going to church, okay fine, all right, I guess we're going to church, or
But
you're
that's still not your decisions.
that
You
wasn't my
act
decision.
you
Yeah,
acquiesce, but it wasn't your decisions.
yeah,
So
it wasn't.
by
Yeah,
by logic, it's illogical. Because if I
yeah.
made you do something, it is my decision to make you go to church. It wasn't your decision, even though you object. But to
Right.
you and to me, as far as our elephant is concerned, I bear no
I didn't want to go to
responsibility.
church. Right. Yeah, I didn't want to go
Right?
to
Because
church, so
because
I
you
said
didn't
that.
want to go to
Yeah.
church, you
Right.
didn't make the decision, you didn't bear the responsibility. The thing is, in your mind, that's what you're saying. So
Yeah.
it's not possible for you to make a decision without listening to yourself, because otherwise you would have, you just do anything because somebody else made it. It's somebody else's decisions. Because, like, for example, if your
I'm with
boss
you.
say, "Hey, I need Chris, you need to fill out this the QBR
Right.
for all your employees, and I need it, by tomorrow, by Sunday," right? You don't want to do it, but you do it. But
Right.
it's not your decision because you need to have no responsibility.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
I
no, I
don't
mean,
care how
you're right.
big or small the decisions is. If you don't agree to it, you say, "Hey, yes, I agree to it." You don't bear the responsibility and accountability of the things that will come as a result of doing that thing.
Right.
If I did it right and something goes wrong, say, "Hey, you told me to do it. It's your decision. Now you need to own up to your mistakes or whatever."
Right.
That's how we think.
I 100% agree with you. So this is the first part of this reflection for me is setting that as our baseline. Well, the second part then is, well, this book's about, we need you to lead us. This book's about connecting a tribe and being having the willingness to lead, and the desire to want to change things, right? So how do you get people to follow you is the question, right? So if you only ever listen to yourself, how do I get somebody else to follow me or vice versa? If I know and that I'm only ever going to do what I want to do, even if you tell me to do it and I do it, I didn't do it because I wanted to do it. I did because you made me do it, and I don't take any agency over that decision, like you said, right? So even in that regard, like I'm only still ever going to do what I want to do, and
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. Like point blank, period. It doesn't matter who, you're not going to listen to anybody else but yourself at the end of the day if you have the agency to make a decision. So as a leader, like that brings up the question, like, what do you do? And for me personally, like this is what I've kind of discovered on this journey in particular, is you don't like it's a worthless waste of your time
Mm-hmm.
to ever try to get somebody to do something that you want them to do. I don't care how much persuasion you want to use. You could use that, the influence book. You could use, every sales tool trick in the trade. You could do your midnight DJ FM voice. You can do whatever, you can deploy whatever trick you want to deploy. It doesn't fucking matter until the other person decides that they want to go do something for themselves. And it doesn't matter what you say, they won't do it. I mean, I've seen this so many times with employees that I've managed or led, and you're like, you'll have a great conversation with them. They'll agree with you that this is, they'll tell you verbally that this is right. I would like to do that, and then they don't do it, and you're like, what am I missing? Like, like what did I not do here? Right? So
Well, they don't really agree.
They don't like that's my point. It's like they may have verbally said that to you. They may have given you the impression that they agreed with you, but then their actions do something completely different. So the truth of what I'm getting at here ultimately is they're going to do whatever the fuck they want to do, regardless, right? And you could waste a whole lot of time and effort trying to guide them, or trying to push them where you want them to go, or you can just sit back and watch how they behave, and then leave little breadcrumbs around the place and see if they want to pick up the breadcrumb and ask you a question, and then answer that question, and then go back and sit back and watch, and leave more breadcrumbs and let them go find their own stuff, and then come back and talk to you again, and you can keep going a little bit further, keep going a little bit further. That's ultimately how you, in my opinion, lead somebody to where you want them to go. Like there's no other way to do it, because they have to choose to go eat that breadcrumb every single time, and they have to choose to want to go ask you that question. And when they do that, that means they actually want to learn. That means they actually want to explore, some other area, because this is what their mind is thinking about, and this is what they're choosing to go do. So in my opinion, like if the answer to this question of tribes, how do you connect people together? How do you build a willingness? How do you connect a tribe together? How do you lead a tribe of people? And how do you get people to desire change to go in the direction that you want them to go? And my personal thought is you don't. You just leave crumbs around that if they want to pick it up and go explore. It's like a Montessori workplace, like we talked about all the time. It's like, oh, hey, what's this toy? Oh, I don't know. I strategically left that toy out, for everybody to go play with. You decided to go pick that toy up. Do you want to learn more about that toy? Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. Well, then let's talk about it. So that's the reflection overall. So we only ever listen to ourselves. So make sure that you're helping people to listen to themselves is basically it. Like observe them and help them to listen to themselves, and then keep going on. All the while, don't forget you need to be doing the same stuff, right? Like you need to still be exploring, gobbling up little crumbs around you that other people leave for you, and going on your own path, but at the same time leaving little trail for everybody else. And that's really what we're doing over here too. I mean, that's what this whole journey is about. So I'll pause there. Love to get your thoughts. The question is, are you telling people what to do, or are you helping them to discover for themselves? That's my question if you want to build a tribe. So yeah, love to get your thoughts.
Yeah. So for me, I'm a little bit of an oddball. Like I said, I'm usually the black sheep and of the family, of the society, of the tribe, of the human species. I'm the black sheep. So the thing is, for whatever reason, I have no interest in becoming a leader nor a follower. I don't give a shit.
Right.
So I don't know why,
but you are a leader. You're a leader of true.
But I don't want to.
You don't want to lead true? You don't want to
No.
lead yourself? Yeah, you do. Yes,
No.
you do.
No.
Yes, you do.
I just want.
You said I'm the black sheep. That's your identity. That you want to do that.
No, I just want the brain to leave me alone. Let me be whatever that my gene needs me to be. I say if I need to go and become this Mexican fisherman or this Asian fisherman in my case, then to go be that. I might, if somebody tells me, hey, there's more fish over there, I have no interest in going over there for more fish. So for me, I don't know, it's a little bit harder to understand kind of like the leadership style of leaving the breadcrumbs and all that, because like I just don't have an interest in it.
That's not true. What you're here with me every night. There's this is a breadcrumb, like
no. But it's what I like to do, right? And yeah,
right.
So, yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
There are things that like you don't leave me breadcrumbs, okay? You don't leave me breadcrumbs. You gotta leave me pieces of ribeye steaks.
That's okay. That's a good point. Yeah, you gotta leave them what they want, Yeah.
Exactly, not breadcrumbs. I can't. Like, you can't do breadcrumbs either.
Gluten-free breadcrumbs, I guess. Yeah.
You have to give me cubes, like little tiny cubes of ribeye steaks, right? Cooked to perfection, right? To me, yeah, you can give me that. So the thing is, yeah, I get that. I get that. It's just like, as far as being a leader, I have no desire to, nor a affinity not to.
You're just you're Switzerland.
I'm just neutral.
Switzerland.
Yeah. Pretty much. I'm that kind of say. I have my own business. Like, if you want to give me breadcrumbs, you give me little cubes of steaks, sure, I'll go, I'll grab it. But as far as like for me to go put, like if I were to cook steaks, I'm eating it. I'm not putting breadcrumbs. I'm not putting cubes of steaks for anyone.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing is I'll say this. I know for a fact that you do have a desire to change things, right? Like, like you want
Yes,
you
yes,
you, you
there is desire to change things because there are things you want to reach for based on your personality and who you're supposed to be, who you're yearning to be.
right.
Because for me, it's like I say, I'm yearning to be this Mexican fisherman, and where am I at right now? I can't, right? I have responsibility. I've entered into contractual agreement with other people. I have a family, I have a wife and a kid. I just can't leave them, right? I could,
Sure.
but my conscience won't let me,
Sure. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
right?
Yeah.
And so I can be, I can just drop everything and leave and be a vagabond person, do whatever, right? I could do that. Yeah. So
Right.
can I do? Yeah. But it's it's all intertwined since in the beginning that I have a family where my family were telling me to do certain things. I have no um independence since you're under 18, under age, blah blah blah. The states, the states, the city, the society, the government, your country, everything, everybody, it is intertwined. So you can't really just jump off of
Yeah.
and be, hey, I'm this person. So you
The
stuck in so you can't just like
the
teleport
court.
yourself.
Yeah.
Just like for you right now, Chris. Like there is a certain place you want to be, but you have certain responsibility that you still at. You can't just teleport yourself and go poof,
Right.
magically jump over there. You have to find a transition. So
Right.
in that way, you are yearning for something. You are yearning for a change. I'm also yearning for a change because where you are is not the best place. When I say maybe I'm a beaver, I'm looking for that river, right? And I'm saying I need to go over there. But right now I'm stuck doing something here, or I need to you know walk over there as if like transitioning in the conceptual world. Or I need to, hey, there's a a bridge or whatever. I need to cross the bridge first before I can go to the river. Whatever you need to do to transition over. So wherever you are, you still have where you want to be. And so there's a change. But once you get there, right? That's mean you can do less. Like the thing is, you get um more fulfilled the closer you get to that uh state. So the
Right.
state is an end. It's not even an end because when you get there, you gotta go. Hey, I gotta go build dam. So you start. It's not like you get there and you're okay. I reached my goal and ta-da, and I'm done. And the end of life. That's
Right.
not how. That's not what we mean in terms of the state. The state is you get to the river and you start collecting the dripwoods and branches and start building the dams and make whatever I need to make as far as the fisherman is concerned, right?
Right.
And so for me, yeah, you have your like your singular focus because once you identify, hey, that's the river I want to go. Whatever on the side, what's on the left, what's on the right, you don't pay attention to. So even if you leave breadcrumbs for me, I ain't going there,
Right.
right? And so for me, it's like I don't want to. For me, it's like it's hard for me to be. I'm not lettable. I'm not lettable. I just this is because the thing is, you think about me, like you say, hey, look, I can go out here and I can talk to you, but at the end of the day, I still want to spend 80% of my time in solitude.
Yeah, but I mean, but that doesn't mean you don't want to be in a tribe, and that doesn't mean you
I
don't
do.
want
I
to
do
be
want to be in a
around.
tribe. I do.
Right.
I do want to be in a
Like
tribe. And so we're talking about being a leader and being a follower. That's something, right? To me,
Well, no, this book's about we need you to lead us. This book's a call to leaders to
right.
form a
So
tribe. Like
it
that's what this
doesn't.
book's about.
Right.
Like it's not
Yeah.
about tribes. It's not about the importance of tribes. Like we all
Right, and
know
that and
tribes are
that's the
important.
reason why we're talking about leadership because for
Right.
me, this book doesn't align with me because I have no desire to want to be a leader of anyone.
Right.
Right? I have a desire to be part of a community. Like you and I, right? We are part of the yin yang. We are in a track. I asked you before, right? You and I on a track. Who's in front and who's behind?
Neither.
That's
I mean,
that's exactly that's the
but
beauty.
but true.
That's the
But that also means you're a leader, though, because what you and I are doing every single day is leaving breadcrumbs for a whole lot of other people. They're going to come to you and they're going to ask you questions, and you have a lot more insight and wisdom into this idea, this grand beautiful question that we call Clubany. That you are going to guide people through this whole entire. You've already done it. Like you've already been a leader for
I
multiple
I
people.
I am a leader
Mentored, you know.
because I'm a leader because I do what I want to do. People just follow me because they want to
That's my
are
point.
curious.
This is
But I
exactly my
don't
point. It's
I
like
don't want to like so for me in that case, right? I'm a leader by accident. As a byproduct of who I am.
ah
It's not because
ah
I
this
I
is
I focus on being a leader.
this this is this is exactly what we talk about all the time, though, is like you don't get through the dip, another Seth Godin book. Like you said, if you notice that you're in the dip, you're not going to get through the dip, because like when you do the stuff that you just naturally love, you don't even think about it. You're like, oh, this is fun. I get to go through the dip. Like, I mean, you don't even know that you're in it. You just keep going until you find yourself
Right. That's the reason
far along.
why. That's
But
when if you have a
but
consciousness of, hey, I'm not a leader. I want to be a leader. Then you're not a leader. You're a
yeah,
leader
that's
because
exactly what I was about to say.
you
It's like,
are already a leader. This is what we're talking about in terms of being world class. Like
right.
I don't care to be world class because if I'm if I want to be a world class, meaning the world class is what I'm chasing. That means that I'm not world class yet. I'm chasing it. If I don't care to be world class, if I'm already world class because I'm already there.
That's
So the
exactly
same
right.
thing, same thing is a leader is what you do. It's not what you want to be, right? Because
Exactly.
if you want to be, because a leader isn't a thing,
It's not. No, a
right?
leader is somebody that sets a course and helps others to find their
No,
way.
no,
Like,
a leader is a person who just carves his path and somebody
that's what I'm saying.
follows it.
Sets a course. That's what I'm saying. They
But
set a
but
course,
but
and
like
then
I say, for me as a person, personally, I don't mind if somebody follows me. But I don't give a shit if the guy in the back say, "Hey, I need to go east." I say, "What do I need to go east for? I don't fucking care what you want. I want to go. I want to go west. I want to go north. Based
right.
on what? If you want to follow me, that's fine. But I'm not gonna say, well, I need to go west. I need to go east. I need to go whatever. Say, well, I don't care what your desires are. I desire for me, and what I do is what I do. I don't mind if you tag along and follow me along, but I decide what path I take, right?
But we all do. That's the point. It's like
But that's the thing is,
we
for
only listen
example,
to ourselves. Like all of us do.
exactly,
Like,
exactly. So thing is, as an animal, you will only listen to yourself, right?
yeah,
Because there
you
is
have
no,
to. Like, who else can you
it's
trust?
not
Like,
it's not logical for anyone for someone to follow. But at the same time, I in my opinion, I think the human species has taken a more of a dip because you think about humans, right? We have this cognitive brain that I think the animals don't, but we are once animal. Meaning that we once have
we
only
are
this
animals.
animal brain. No, but we are a little bit more than animal because we have the
Yeah,
system one brain and system two brain. So
maybe they're
most
more. Maybe they're the special ones, and we're the idiots. Like,
no, the thing is we have grown our brain size.
Well, you did just
Our
say
brain.
you can't call yourself a leader. If you call yourself a leader, you're not a leader. Well, we call ourselves wise man. Are we wise man?
Then you're not.
Well, that's what we call ourselves. That's what our species is. We gave ourselves the name wise man.
No, I didn't say that. I
I,
never call myself. I never call myself a Homo sapien. I call myself human being. Whatever you label
is that
me,
is
I
that not
don't.
different?
Huh? It is different because I didn't choose it. So speak for
All right.
yourself. Okay. If you say you're the wise man, speak for yourself. Don't speak for me.
I'm
So
not. I didn't
so
say I'm the wise man.
somebody. No, I'm just saying somebody who quote unquote label us human beings as Homo sapiens or wise man or whatever it is. That's what he said.
Right.
I didn't say that. I didn't agree to it.
Okay.
Did I sign my name? Say, hey, I am a Homo sapien, blah blah. Even if you were to give me an affidavit and make me sign something and say, hey, he attests that I'm a Homo sapien, I would do for the sake of just getting getting you out of my hair, right? Because I don't give a shit.
Because
I'm not a wise man, nor I will ever claim to be, nor I will even say I'm a smart person. I'm saying I'm many things. Sometimes I'm dumb. Sometimes I have my moments. Sometimes I'm
right.
this. Sometimes I'm nice. Sometimes I'm evil. Sometimes I'm nasty. Sometimes I'm good. And so I'm all that, and I've been doing that, right? And as far as you are, as far as you know, that's mostly true because you think about it. Does anyone who has been good all the time, has been bad all the time, has been like nasty all the time, has been angels all the time, have been devils all the time? No, as human being, you can attest to this based
Right.
on the common understanding between me and you, right? We understand what you did in your earlier years. You say, well, yeah, as far as human being, I did something like that. Then that means that what he said is not far fetched. So for most part, it's just, to me, it's just like you have a I mean, you have a sense of yourself, but also a sense of, if I want to not get people to give me troubles, I need to kind of play along and not have to, because I don't want to fight you at every single turn, right? I just
Right.
don't. I mean, whatever I would have care about, I'll fight for you for that. But whatever I don't care about, I said, yeah, sure.
Oh,
If you tell me, hey, the Earth is flat, sure, I don't care. If you
right.
say the Earth is over, okay, sure. I don't really care because then if I were to say no, let's say you comes to me and you tell me, hey, true, the grass is blue, right? I say, no, it's green. But I said, no, it's blue. No, it's green. No, it's blue. So
Well,
what's the point of,
somebody may be blue. I mean,
exactly? But the thing is, the point is, if I don't care about the grass is green or blue, why do I need to correct you? Because you know
um,
how lions can see only like orange colors and whatnot,
yeah.
right? And they can't see the green color.
Mhm.
So, for example, he said, hey, the grass is orange. But the point is, if I don't really care about if the grass is orange, blue, whatever, why am I correcting you based on what I see? Even though from your perspective, it's truly that you say, oh, you just pulled my leg. So at that point, I have to play it out and say, hey, okay, yeah, it's blue. Whatever you say is blue. Because if I were to say, no, it's green, and I argue with you, I'm trying to prove to you how that I'm right. But at the end of the day, I'm just arguing with the fool. Then am I the wise man by saying, hey, I'm right? Or am I the fool who wants to be right?
I,
Think about that for a second.
I think you're probably the fool, but
Right, because the thing is
uh,
that why are you arguing with somebody?
you shouldn't. This is my like this is
Exactly. But the thing
like
is,
we had this
but
one.
the notion of arguing and claiming that you're right, you are claiming yourself as the smart man.
I
But in reality, because you arguing with the fool, you are the fooler of the fool.
I'm just finished a book or not fin I have like 20 minutes left of Annie Duke's Thinking in Bets.
Mm-hmm,
I think you've read that one, didn't you?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is essentially what you're saying, right? And like this, like you might as well have called Thinking in Bets I don't know shit, right? Like because you're basically just taking a probability, like going, look, we know something, but like we don't know everything, and we
No,
don't even know what
we
we know.
think we know
Yeah,
something.
right.
We
We think
think
we
we
know.
know
We
something.
don't even know that we know what we know, but we probably have some level of knowledge of this world. It might be infantile and minuscule, but we probably have some level of knowledge. But at the same time, we have no level of knowledge. We could have completely, none at all. So my point of what you were just saying is like, okay, like a green or blue, grass. what's the probability that it's green? It's probably, for most of the people, 90,
Something.
98% probable. I don't know. I mean, like,
No,
maybe.
I mean, it means nothing. It means nothing to
Right.
me. You can say
But
90%. You can say
90%.
80%.
Yeah.
You
It
can
doesn't
say
mean, yeah.
20%. You can say 1%. I don't know. I don't. I
Right.
don't know, and I'm gonna give a shit because.
That's
But
fair. Yeah. I mean, I
but the
don't
thing
care
is,
either, actually. That was,
well, you make the assumption that because you see green, that other people see green. So you say, hey, it's 99%, but
I
you
said
could be
90,
far
98.
from truth,
I
right?
could be.
90,
Yeah.
right? Who knows? How can you prove it? If you can't prove it, then
I can't.
if
Yeah.
you say 99%, you say 98%, you know 97%, and you see 1%, you see 10%, you see 50%. All that number could be very well be the correct number. So
I mean, I guess I could hold up a something that I painted green next to what I think looks like the same color as grass, and I could ask people, does this color look like that color? And they could say yes or no. I mean, I guess you could, say
but
that.
that doesn't mean how you come up with the percentage. Maybe all humans see green and all animals sees blue. So how do you? I mean,
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, I didn't say all. I mean, it doesn't
but
like
reality, right?
right,
Reality.
right.
Nothing is what you see, nothing what you see, right? Is
Oh,
what
it
it
is.
is.
It is what I see, but it isn't maybe necessarily what everybody sees. Is your point, and and that's fine. Like,
And that doesn't matter. That's my point.
right.
It doesn't matter. And so the thing is whether you want to be a leader or not. If a leader is your instinct or your natural calling or your gene is hey, I have the need to be a leader. I whatever. Then yeah, be that. But
But I don't even
as
think leaders
a
have that calling. Like, I like this is the thing of
well,
leadership.
some people
This
do. Some people just like that's just like for you. You like to talk, right? That is a characteristic of personality traits, right? So something for you
of a
is
leader.
it,
You think that's a characteristic? Oh, yeah.
no. A characteristic. There are
Oh,
many
yes, it is a
characteristics, right?
characteristic. So, yes.
A character traits. Okay, character trait like I'm saying. A character trait is like somebody loves to talk, somebody loves to meet people, somebody loves to solve
Sure.
problems, somebody loves to build dams, right? So, but the thing is, there's no limit to the number of character traits that somebody have, or there is possible in the world.
Sure.
And there are some character trait that is, aligning with this quote unquote the leader style, whatever that means, right? So for me, I don't have it.
I disagree, man. I mean, I really do disagree with that. Like, I think what we're talking about is if that's like saying you're tall and
Yeah, I mean,
you can
it's
jump,
up.
you should be a
It's
basketball player. Well, maybe,
no. But the
like,
thing is, that's all subjective because when you say I'm tall, right? I'm tall compared to a 4 feet kid,
sure,
but I'm
right,
short compared to a 7 feet kid, right?
sure.
It doesn't matter, right? But that's the thing is, we say when you say tall, it's subjective. When you say
Okay,
this,
all
it's
right, all right.
subjective.
Let's say that you are the size of an NBA basketball player for human. I mean, I don't want to put too many characteristics on this, but on the human spectrum, you are in the top 3% of height wise as an adult human being. Like, like people are going to say, well, you should be a basketball player, or you're probably a basketball player, or you're probably doing this or whatever, right? And you go,
So
well,
what about
like,
the guy yesterday you're talking about that's the tennis player? He's 6'8".
yeah,
He's
well, he
not
is
a
6'8",
basketball player.
yeah. Well,
He's not a
yeah,
basketball player.
but 6'8" isn't in the that probably is in the top like 1-2%. But anyway, what I was getting at is like, like, just because you have characteristics of what society deems as a leader doesn't mean that, like, you can't be all I was trying to say is like, I don't know that there is any prototypical leader. As a matter of fact, I think that's
So
the
I think leadership is something we made up. It's not really something that
I don't think it's anything you
it
do.
exists in nature.
I don't know that
Because
you
if you
lead a team at all. Like, I think that
you
you
don't
lead yourself and people
you
follow.
you don't lead anyone or anything. The only thing you can do is just do what you're supposed to do. Because you think
Right.
about, let's imagine you're in a swarm of fish, right? You see all this National Geographic nature where you have the swarm of fish, like, and they go in the swarms, right? Who's the leader?
I don't know.
Who's the leader? That some fish say, "Hey, follow me. I go this way. I go that way." You know. So it's another scenario.
They're all together.
Okay,
I don't know.
you have a flock of birds, right? They fly in one direction, in a V shape. Who's the leader?
I don't know. I don't know.
My point is there is no leader.
Right.
The reason we go the same way is because in the common group there are common desires. Let's say you like steak, I like steak, right? When there are crumbs of steak, you and I go in the same direction.
Right.
And other people who like steaks as well also follow the same directions.
Right.
Because if you found steaks, you're gonna come to me, or I come to you, vice versa, right?
That's a good point.
So it's not being a leader. Leader, it means shit. There's no leader. You cannot lead anyone.
I agree. As a matter of fact, like
if you give me like breadcrumbs, like you will not get me to follow you.
I agree. The team that I technically am and have been given charge of overseeing from a management perspective. Because I wouldn't call management and leadership the same thing at all. Like it's completely
I think
opposite.
leader is a word, it's a made up word that doesn't mean anything. Okay, it
No,
doesn't mean anything to me.
it does. It has a meaning, and it's like, okay. So here's what I was gonna say is like what you just said. I think was important. Of True has certain things that he likes to do. True is the leader in that. If I need help in that, I'm gonna go to True. Like this happens all the time on my team.
No,
Now,
I would call that an expert versus a non-expert. It has nothing to do with leadership, because leadership isn't.
no.
Because the thing is, you like you're a leader, right? And you come to me, hey, True, I need you to build this app, and I say, fuck you. Why would I build an app for you?
I didn't ask you to build. I didn't ask for your help. I said teach me how to do.
What would I teach you? What would I teach you? Because you're a leader, right?
No.
So that's the thing is,
you would teach because we were working toward a common goal in a group.
But that has nothing to do with leadership. It has to do with agreement. It has to do with persuasion. You have a character trait of persuasiveness, charmingness, whatever it is. That is a character trait. That is a real thing. A leadership isn't a real thing. I decide to help you do something because I agree with what you said. There's nothing.
Why did you agree with what I said? I didn't tell you.
Because you can do, because there's certain things that you do that I agree with. Like, for example, you and I, we both like steaks, and I say, and I have a steak or you have a steak, right? I say, hey, there's a big steak over there. We need to go over there, but we need to bring this, tray over there. You and I go carry this heavy cast iron tray. You are convincing me to help you do these things. That is a trait, a convincing trait, a persuasiveness. It's a personal a character trait. Okay, leadership isn't. Leadership is just a label of a group of trait that, hey, get people to do something for you, which is persuasiveness. I would say persuasiveness is a character trait, but not leadership. Leadership is, to me, doesn't mean shit.
I mean, I agree with that.
Because it's made up and it has no. To me, when you
I don't know. Never mind. I mean, like this, because technically there is leaders. Like there are technically people that
technically there's a label called leaders. Yes, it's a labable. To me, it's all label.
There is technically somebody that, of every tribe that does.
No, every
the direction.
You are a connector, right? You connect to say, hey, he's a leader because he's a connector, right? Because you think about it, a person who can orchestrate something. Oh, he's a leader because he have a lot of people, kind of listening to him. No, he has the ability to persuade, and people follow him. Just like, hey, you talk about Hitler, right? He's a leader because he's able to be persuasive. Not because he's a leader.
Wait.
Leader is something people put a label on.
A tribe is a collection of people that have a desire to change, which I agree with, have the ability and somebody to connect the tribe together, and the willingness to lead, right? Like this
But
is
the thing is, the
uh
willingness to lead. That to me doesn't make any sense because you think about in the flock of birds, who's the leader?
somebody has to say we have a desire to change, and somebody has to go, let's fucking do this. Let's organize around this desire to change. Somebody has to be the one that starts.
So you call that a leader?
Yeah, the person that
No,
starts.
I just call that a person who initiate. Has nothing to do with being leader. Because the thing is, you cannot persuade me if I don't agree.
I know
A leader,
I agree with that.
is their trait, is ability to get somebody to do something, to follow them, right? That is a leader, okay? But a leader without the other, try to say you say I'm a leader, but take away your other trait that you kind of group them together as leader. You take those straight away, you are a shitty leader, quote unquote, because you can't. No one listen to you.
Right.
So there are people in high office that has the power to get people to do things, but people don't listen to them.
Right.
So something is that you have a captain of a ship, and you have mutiny. Why is that?
Because they don't like them
Okay,
or her.
you're not a leader because you're not
Yeah.
persuasive.
Right.
So a leader is a label a human being made up to label a certain group of character traits. Because I don't have the character trait of the connectors. I quote unquote not I don't want to be labeled as a leader, or nor do people look at me as a leader. They look
Well,
at me as a person who knows something that, hey, maybe he can give me some advice based on his experience and his skills that he does in this area. But they
right.
don't look at me as a leader because no one looks at me as, hey, I want to follow True. Wherever he goes, I'll go. Right?
That I mean,
You don't follow me. You come say, hey, True, I'm not gonna follow you. I just want to talk to you and see, okay, what do you do when you have this place, right? You just want to have
yeah, but nobody
an
does. Like I don't.
exchange.
There's
That's
nobody
my
like.
point. That's my point. My point exactly. No one does. So you cannot lead somebody. Like I say, a swarm of fish. In that swarm of fish, who's the leader? The fish in front? It's the leader? Or he just happened to be the fish in front? Or the flock of birds? Who's the leader? Is it the one leader, or it just happened to be that bird who happens to be in front that day?
I I'm a, I'm a little lost
Because
tonight.
the thing is that there's birds, right? Yes, you're talking about birds, right? There's birds that have the strength, right? That flies faster, becomes a leader because the
Mhm.
character trait is strength. It isn't because of leadership. He flies faster, that's why he's in front.
Okay, okay. I'm tracking. I'm tracking with what you're saying. I'm trying to. So you're you're basically saying what I'm saying in this reflection. It's like you can't. There is no way to get somebody to follow you, ever.
Nope. I agree.
I agree with that. I mean, so like
I
so
agree.
if there is no followers, then there is no leaders.
Just common directions. It's common
Com,
goal, common,
common directions. I like that. Like
right?
that's good.
So that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying is a bird flies south, right? Because it's
right,
not because a leader say, hey, we need to fly south, blah, blah, blah. No, we fly south because I don't like the cold.
right. And I just wanted some companionship while I was flying down there, so we all flew
Right?
together. Yeah, yeah,
I go to the steak table because I like steaks. You go to
right.
the steak table because you like steak, not because I say, look, you're vegetarian. No, you eat steaks today. I'm a fucking leader. Let's go now, right?
Right.
And then, oh, you're a leader. Okay, I agree. Say, it's just illogical.
What did you say? Common
Common
what
directions.
common directions? All right. Hang on. I gotta write that down real fast.
Would you agree though? I mean, if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
if I mean, if somebody is a wheat addict and he's a leader, he wants you to go to the wheat table and get all the bread, blah blah, right? are you gonna follow him? Willingly. You don't, because it doesn't align with who you are and what you want.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm tracking. I mean, this is kind of what I'm saying all along. Like, it's common. Like you just said, it's common. Uh, uh
It's common
common
directions.
common directions, right? Like I put a breadcrumb down. You want to follow, go that direction. Like here
If
you go. Like
if I want
go,
breadcrumbs, right?
right. If you want breadcrumbs, like if you want to go, like only if you want a breadcrumb, or if you want a ribeye steak or whatever, fine. I'll if I like ribeye steaks, and I'll leave pieces of my ribeye steaks around, and if you like ribeye steaks, you'll pick it up, and we'll continue to you'll go to the same direction that I'm going. It's a
Yeah,
common.
because if there's ribeye steak table on the east side, you and I are going to flock
Right,
together to
right,
the east side because that's what we want. That's what
right.
I want, but it's also what you want. That's why you and I go together. So in that case, like you, me, and 10 other people, who's the leader? Just because I happen to see it first, I become the leader. I mean, the point is
Gosh, I don't know. This is so.
leadership is somebody is a man-made construct
No, because
that
even when you're in a
identifies
common,
somebody in front as a leader because I happen to see first. That's random chance, or I
but even
happen to have a certain character strength. I say, oh, I can smell. I smell better than you. Oh, okay, over there, right?
right.
And human trait is that we share what we know with other people. And people, once I know there's stakes over there, then I say, hey, there's stakes over there. Am I a leader because of
Okay,
my
okay.
keen sense of
Hang on.
smell?
Okay, so I agree with where we're going with this. So we're all going in the common direction, and we all get lost. At a certain point in time, people look to somebody for direction, and like the birds all get lost on the way down to the south, and then we find ourselves up in
Yes.
northern Canada, and
Yes.
and we all go, where the fuck are we? Somebody
Yes.
somebody needs to make a decision to get us the fuck out of here. Like
Right.
I'm cool with going south. That's where we all wanted to go,
Okay.
but we're not going south right now. So somebody
Yes.
fucking make a decision. Who is the person that they turn to
Okay.
say,
I'll give you this scenario. Okay. You and I and a bunch of other people that we're not gonna focus it on a bunch of other people, but you and I and a bunch of other people in a very, very sophisticated society. You and I, between me and you, who's the leader?
are you asking like right now?
Mm-hmm. Who's the leader?
Like I mean, actually, like you're actually asking between us, like who's leading each other?
Who would lead in the group based on your character traits and my character traits?
I don't know.
Who's leading the group
I
in
have
a
no idea.
sophisticated society? My point is that in a sophisticated society, your character trait is needed more at that point in time because you have the ability to traverse the conversations among people and understand the EQ of people. On the flip side, if you and I were to strand on an island or a jungle, and understand that I'm a chemist, and I'm also very good at building things. In that scenario, who do you think is the leader? So a leader is
You're saying leadership is dependent upon
what is
the
needed.
the environment that is needed.
What is needed, because the thing is, if you are a talker and you are a social person, but I'm the builder and we are
That could be
stranded
okay.
on an island, right? So that means that leadership isn't a thing that's fixed, because a persuasive person is a persuasive person. Doesn't matter where you flung him.
Right.
But a leader is like, okay, you flung him to one environment, he may not be a leader. You flung another person into another society, another environment, he become a leader. So to me, a leader is a construct of a human construct that wants to group certain things together and say, okay, because in this case, you're a leader.
It's what the group needs in the moment based on the environment.
if you go to the you go onto like a cruise or whatever, right? The captain is the leader because he knows how to navigate the waters and manage the ships and all that. And you stranded on an island, the person who know how to get food and who know how to cook and get fire and getting you the necessity, that's the leader. That could be the toilet cleaner later, and she'd be the kind of leader.
Right.
So the captain is a slave in that society. So leadership isn't fixed, isn't like a character trait. So I'm saying a leadership isn't a character trait.
That's good. I like that.
It's just a transcendent label right? Does it
I
make
get
sense?
it. Okay. I'm with you. All right, so I'm tracking. So let me put this all together. It's a common direction, and then in that common direct, a group of people going in a common direction,
Who has the
and
most advantage in that environment?
in
Because
whatever given environment,
for
and when
example, like we are
yeah,
let's say you're a flock of birds, right? You're flying in some direction, going south to go warmer weather. The guy he's leading has a character trait of strength. He
it's
is able to fly faster. It's able to help the other birds fly. Or be in front and get the cool air, because the guys who's weak has to follow the tail and evade some of the snow or rain or wind in front of them, right? And so that's what I'm saying is the character's trait. It puts you into a leadership position based on the need of that situation.
So this is something the military does of decentralized command, where everybody leads basically. So depends on the situation, but everybody leads when they need to be a leader in a
Right.
particular
So
situation.
you're talking about like, hey, the bomb squad or the drill sergeant or this SEAL Team 6 or whatever. Who's the leader? It depends on what are they doing. If
Right.
there's a bomb to get defused, the bomb squad is the leader because he's
Right.
control the situation. So a leader, quote unquote, it's fine to use it, but it's not a trait. They say, hey, everybody should be a leader. No, so leader isn't a trait. Leader is a transient label for say, who is the most advantage in this situation right now? I need you to give
Whose
me
skills can help the
the
group the
best,
most in this particular
exactly the
situation? Yeah.
best probability of making it out. I
Right.
want the best. Like you and I would say, hey, if you have the best forehand, I want you to teach me. I don't want I don't want another guy to
Right.
teach me beforehand, right? I
Yeah.
want the best probability. So in that
You
situation,
want Lionel Messi how to teach you how to kick a left-footed ball, like and
I
dribble
do not want
left-footed.
Lionel Messi to teach me how to hit a forehand in tennis.
Right, yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm
No,
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
in the soccer field, Lionel Messi is a leader. In a
What's his
tennis court, if me, you, and Lionel Messi in the soccer field, he's a leader.
right,
In a tennis court, you're the leader. So I mean, it changes. It depends on the environment. So that's what I'm saying.
right.
Now, my point is that leadership is a man-made construct. It's not a character trait.
I agreed. Okay, I'm in. I mean
Good.
I'm good. That's I think we I feel confident on this one. So in that environment that you are really good at, leave breadcrumbs and other people will follow. Then you have a group of people going in a common direction, and in that direction, wherever whoever beavering is needed most at that given time in that direction, that is the decentralized leader, and they need to all know that they need to step up when they need to step up for their particular when they
Right. You
need to hit
can't
their
just say, hey, I'm in a tribe. I'm a fucking chief. Right.
right,
Everybody listens to me in every single turn.
right,
That's disaster because the chief has his moments. He is good in certain areas, but not in
right.
every area. He's going to make mistakes and he's going to doom the tribe.
Agreed.
99 like good things, one bad thing will wipe out the tribe.
One all shit, erases 100 attaboys, right?
One out of yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
All right, I'm good. Well, I feel like I'm good on this one. I feel like we went around full circle on this one. Came out with something good. I feel good to leave it here. Are you good?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's always tomorrow.
That's true. So I think the question we can leave with everybody is: Are you telling people what to do, or are you helping them to discover for themselves? But now we could
You
probably
can't
add
tell
on to
people.
that. Yeah, well, we know that was a given. Like, but not only that, now I think we can add into: Are you leveraging? Are you stepping up for your group when your skill sets are needed most?
But
For
I
the
think, but to me, I believe that it's a given because if you do the things naturally without thinking, you will automatically be the guy who's going to help because you want to be useful in that situation where, hey, I'm a chemist and you can't make a fucking fire and you can't like get fresh water or water that is going to be contaminated with this and thing, right? I'm going to help you because for whatever reason I feel good because I'm being useful. And so in that scenario, I will naturally come out and do it if I were to use my cognitive brain to think about, oh, leadership, I'm been this, that, it murkies the water. It murkies the decision process.
Mhm.
And so if you be you, right,
Yeah,
when you're needed, you're automatically going to say, well, how the fuck did you build the tent so fast? I'm here. I can't fucking put the thing together, right? They're going
right.
to naturally look at you and say, hey, you're the leader right now. In this wilderness, you can't, because if I'm a builder,
What do
right?
you do? This is a random question. I don't even want you to answer this because we'll end up talking for another 20 minutes. But like, what do you do when somebody's been given a role like let's just pretend in a company and they're not good at that job, and then you need their help, and you're like, I don't trust you and your ability to do that in that given tribe. Like, what do you do? You just like kick them out of the tribe?
Um, you want me to answer the question?
No, I don't. No,
Okay.
no, no, I
Okay.
don't. All right, all right. Let's call it a night for this one because we'll end up talking for another 30 minutes. All right. Thanks everybody for joining, and we will see you all tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good. See you.